Hey guys, it's your boy, and I'm here to help you, to give you advice, to give you encouragement in your journey to finding your created value. That's all up to the Holy Spirit, but it's great to have another voice. It's great to have an encouraging voice. Some people, they don't have that. And yeah, here I am for you. Your dream job, or getting the job that you really want. Now, I think it's the devil's task to make us weak. The more that the devil makes you weak, the more that it makes your body weak, the more that he destroys your hope, the more that he puts you in some kind of system that you don't want to be in, the less fruitful, the less expressive, the less your light will shine, the less you will be yourself, your created value. Now, I believe that if you're in any job, you can shine because God doesn't want you to worry about tomorrow. He doesn't want you to worry about money. He doesn't want you to worry about people. If you're not worried about money, you're not worried about people, there's nothing to worry about. There's always a way to shine through whatever you're doing. And even if you're doing data entry, there's some interaction with people, I think. There's meditative time, there's prayer time. I hated data entry. I did it for 2 weeks and I quit. But I did it as a part-time job. But if you got angry people around you, perfect opportunity. And it's not so much about like there's different ideas of shining. It's like I'm going to go there and I'm going to look so happy, and it's like an ego thing because you're talking about how you look, how you appear. That's not what God really wants us to fall into, like that trap, which I used to do. I'm like, Christian is about showing how good the Christian life is, so I'm gonna like show how happy I am and show. No, it's about the heart. So when you look at somebody in the eye and you say good morning and you're like looking at them, they can subconsciously tell if you actually want to connect with them, if you actually love them, or if you're trying to show something, to prove something to yourself. They may not be able to articulate all that and understand that that's what you're doing, but there's just a feeling like something's off, right? So you can shine in any environment. But that said, I feel like a lot of Christians fall into this trap where they're like, well, I'll get this kind of job if God wants me to. And this whole idea of God's will is a very misunderstood concept, like it's been misunderstood so much. God has given us the power of life and death in our tongues. God lives in us. We have so much power to, in a sense, like co-create with him. I want to tell you a little story. I wanted to make a movie. I made a horror movie. And God helped me. There were so many crazy coincidences that happened on set and during the production, and it all came from my faith, I believe. Like, I believed that I could get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, L, that because it's so much to do making a movie. And like it all just happened because I believed it. And everybody was like, why are you so lucky? They just kept saying lucky. Like, why we didn't have a shooting location? Why is it that just the day before we needed the location, this coincidence happened and we got this free location of this place that would have been a fortune to rent? We got it for free. Like, why did this come just in time? Just as we needed it? How did you find blah, blah, blah? And all this crazy stuff happened. I have many stories, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm just saying that God has given you and me things that we're good at, things that we love. The more that we focus on things that we love, the more that we will shine in those areas. If you take two doctors, one of them is a doctor for money. They studied 6 years to be a doctor for money. There's another doctor. He's a doctor because he loves being a doctor. He really loves healing people. You put them in my city, one of them's more expensive. Maybe the doctor that loves being a doctor is more expensive than this doctor. I'm still going to go see this doctor. I'm going to see the doctor that loves being a doctor because I'm going to trust what they say. What I'm saying is even the most competitive professions have people that do it because they love it, and people that do it because they just want money. And over time, the people who are doing it out of love and passion will succeed more because they're actually in it. Their heart's in it, and it'll come out. It'll come out in so many ways. So I believe truly we are meant to pursue things that we're good at and that we love, and God has put those desires in our hearts for a reason. Now, I think the devil has put so many things in our heads that is like puts us in a slave mentality and like in a system and all this stuff. And that's what the devil, what's his aim? He wants to repress the kingdom. He wants to break up the family. Among other things, he wants to weaken us. And by making us buy into a lie that either, like, number one, we have to find the job with the most money. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. You got to pursue the money because you're in survival mode, because you don't understand, or like I didn't understand God's provision and how much you don't really have to worry about money. And he gets you into survival mode, which is anti-kingdom, anti-faith, anti-gospel. And this makes us just pursue something that we don't really love, but that makes us, gives us money. Like, there is somebody I knew who just thought they have to get as much money as they could. So they got the job that they hated, but that got enough money because they need to provide for their family. They did an act that was not of self-love. That is, at the very beginning, they didn't understand the love of God or the self-love, and so they chose a path that was a reflection of that. So all throughout their life, as they raised this family kind of, the kids grew an idea that the father only cared about the survival of the children because the father didn't live in a self-love pattern. And then the children grew up and it became a dysfunctional family, and then there was a divorce, okay? Now, I love my father. It might be obvious that I'm talking about my father. I love him so much. I just think that he didn't understand the love of God growing up. He didn't understand how much he's loved, and I'm still trying to make him understand without pushing it, But I think that was a result of that. So this can happen. Families can break up when the leader of the household is buying into this illusion where they just focus on the money and nothing about making themselves happy. So let's say you're a young person and you want to get into a job that you like. Now, a job is not about the money. This is what famous financial experts and career advisors that are good will tell you. A job is not about money. A job is about experience. You get a job to get experience in a field where you want to start your own business. You want to learn the ins and outs of the business through the job until you figure out how they do it, and then you start that yourself. You take the model, you learn the model, spend some years making a little bit of money, but mainly focus on gaining knowledge and gaining skills in order to start the business that you want to start. Now, let's say your idea is you have no idea how to do something, or you want to do something very entrepreneurial, and you want to start something new. I don't know. And you don't want to join the company. Maybe you don't want to do that. I would say get a job as some job where you have a lot of free time. I think being a security guard is the worst job because you're so bored, and when you're bored, the time goes by so slowly. Like when I was in high school, I did a clothing store job, and most of it was just sitting around folding clothes. I told myself I don't want to be involved in the fast food industry because it's too hectic and it's too exhausting. Man, I could have been having a lot of better time if I had chosen the path of the fast food industry growing up. I'm not regretting or anything, but hey, at least I can tell you now that when you're growing up, unless you're about to do what I'm about to tell you and you just want to make money, which I don't recommend because a job is not for making money. Yeah, go do fast food because it's more fast paced, your mind is occupied, the time goes by. Like time is all relative, right? The time goes by quickly. But if you think about it, you want to do something like your own business, you want to do drop shipping, something like this, okay, I would say get like an iPad or like a small laptop and be a security guard where you're just sitting around. I see all these security guards, they just sit around and they're just watching dramas, and it's just like such a waste of time because they're living in the mentality that this job where they get peanuts, I think, is enough. It's kind of buying into the illusion of being productive, the buying into the illusion of being productive is going to make you poor. So, okay, you get a job as a security guard, you get some headphones, you're studying how to do something. Maybe you're even doing your degree online, I don't know. But you do a job where you have a lot of free time to pursue the thing that you really want, like learning how to do drop shipping, learning how to do your own business. Like, make a plan, I would say. Like, okay, this this security guard job, it lets me sit down. So that means it lets me study. So I'm going to spend my time doing this. I'm going to be studying for this many hours, and you can even set like a plan, because you're just sitting around, basically. So it's almost like work harder, not smarter. Don't buy into the illusion of, oh, I got a job, so I'm being productive. Like, there's some kind of saying out there about this, but like the illusion of productivity by having a job, where you really just don't want to be complacent in that. You want to, like, if you want to not be poor, if you want to rise above the average, you would think of it in a different way. Work smarter, not harder. And don't be afraid to do what you want. Don't be afraid to go after what you want, what excites you, what keeps you up at night. Like, think about this, have you ever like had something keep you up at night, and there was a problem that you had to solve, and it kept you up at night, and you couldn't sleep because you were thinking about it? Just think back to any time that happened, and there's something in there that has to do with something that you're destined to do, some kind of problem that you're destined to solve. Now, a job is about solving problems, and think about it like a video game is about solving problems too. But the developers have made this kind of like, they've used like colors, they've used sound effects, they've used reward systems, they've used attractive things to get you involved in solving a problem, something that's exciting. And they've used fun to make you solve the problem. And the more that you like a game, the better you're going to be at it. So think of it like that. Don't ask yourself, what job do I want? What do I want to be? Rather, ask yourself, what little problems do I enjoy solving? And think of it like a game. Like, you're still solving problems in a job, just like you're solving problems in a video game. What kind of game do you enjoy playing? Okay, what kind of job do you enjoy doing? Like, what problems do you enjoy solving? And I would say don't get involved in the titles. Don't get involved in like, oh, I want to be this. Okay, but do you know what? Because a title can't satisfy you. Telling people that you have this title is just to feed your ego. If that's what you want to do, like, I want to tell people that I work at Nike or something, okay, it's not going to satisfy you either. So what tasks do you want to solve? Like, I used to be a video producer in California. Wow, video producer in California. Yeah, I was sitting on my butt. I was like sending emails. I was like doing really boring tasks. So if you don't know what tasks are involved in the job that you want, that's a sign that it might not be the job for you. But go ahead and like try to get an internship there, try to shadow somebody for a day. I think you'd be surprised at how many companies, how many people would actually allow a young person to come in and just shadow someone for a day. Like, it's kind of like community service. It's kind of like, it's a good thing that the company does, and it's good for their public image. Imagine a company, you go up to a company, you say, hey, I'm a high schooler, I want to shadow somebody for a day, and I'm going to write about it in my school paper. The company's thinking, wow, that's really good promotion for us, that gives us a good public image, we're helping a young person, sure, we'll let you do that. Then by doing that, you're able to learn about the job, you're able to learn what are the actual tasks, do these actually seem fun? And then the last way, which I kind of think is, I don't know if it's the best way, but it's kind of funny if you think about it. If there is some kind of a simulator game about the job that you want out there, and you're able to play the game to see a simulation of what it would be like to do it. I think it's not accurate at all. But if you do the simulation and you can imagine yourself doing those tasks, like imagine what it would be like, and try to imagine it, see if it's fun or not. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful for somebody out there, maybe a young person looking to find their dream job. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. I think it comes from hell. I'm so dramatic, I immediately go to hell. But the misconceptions of that, yeah, okay. So yeah, please subscribe, like if you found value in this video. Send me an email if you have a question, even a life struggle. I'm happy to answer. And have a good one, guys.